Fred Wilhite was the paddle tire winner in Lima. Chuck Knoll has won 2 straight at Bloomsburg and Essex Junction. These friends, with their distinguished driving styles, have set themselves apart from this season's mud racing class. Wilhite's near blowover in Vermont and Chuck Knoll's slip and slide at the same location are but a slight example of what these two stand-up guys are capable of when victory is on the line. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the best in NMRO mud racing. From the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, it's the Tire America Fall 4-Wheel Jamboree Nationals. Fall in the Midwest means the changing of the leaves, but usually when we come to my hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana for the Fall Jamboree, it is wet, it's raining, and it's cool. But I have great news, abundant sunshine, a temperature near 80, and a slight breeze. And we also have a great points competition going on in Class 6. With that story, here's Army Armstrong.
Gary, it's a 4-race shootout, and ironically, it comes down to 2 bad cowboys. Chuck Knoll, your current points leader with the stepchild, holds a 10-point lead over Fred Wilhite. Fred Wilhite, with a money pit nose, today the pressure's on him. He must finish 2 positions ahead of Chuck, because you get 5 points for each position in order to go out here the national champion. The weather is perfect. The horsepower is perfect. Big question today is, can the guy that wears this little weird hat make a perfect run? Back to you, Gary.
As the adage is, time will tell, but unlike the cut tire class where they had no starting line, there's actually a little mud that's been churned up at the launching pad. We can see a great day of mud competition here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Well, there's a look at Mike Lane, Wicked Sensation, the open cockpit vehicle. And he'll be staging alongside what I think is one of the best looking vehicles out here. That's Garland Walls, and that is the Gambler.
Well, you can tell you grew up in the Beach Boy era. I tell you, that's the little loose coupe, the original one. Garland Walls out of Florida would like to put a win under his belt. Normally travels north only once a year. This is his big shot.
Of course, he has the new sponsor, too.
Yeah, the X1R oil additive, yeah.
Oh, wild ride for both the guys. Garland Walls went out of bounds. Mike Lane, a 328. What a wild ride for the Gambler.
Well, that was the first race. Is that the story of things to come? Seems like everything comes out of a closet at Indianapolis, man. You throw everything you got at the track.
Looking right now as he's coming straight at you. You can see the trouble about halfway down. He launches that thing. Was very lucky not to actually get on over. He brought it back down. Wild ride for Walls. He's with Army.
Well, his sponsor says it makes horsepower in a bottle. You didn't really need all that horsepower today, did you? You had your hands full out there.
I had all the horsepower I needed, but the track was just a little bit loose, and the car broke loose. When the clutch locked in, it busted her loose, so there wasn't much I could do.
Well, let's see what this track has in store for the rest of the competition. There's the Dirty Deeds rear engine vehicle of Gene Peak, and he'll be staging next to Scott Snarsky in the Paperboy Express. 2 very different creations.
Exactly. Disadvantage we had to go to the far lane due to the fact that it's got a heavier body. The near lane runs a real solid suspension.
The full-bodied car got out. The rear engine vehicle gets out of bounds. He is DQ'd. Scott turns in a 296, so that'll be the benchmark so far. 296 and a DQ for Gene.
Yeah, he blew a right rear tire out. 2 runs, neither one of them very straight. A replay comes up on the screen. Without the rear suspension, once the car hooks, it almost has a mind of its own, and you're just along for the ride.
The other competitors are watching, Army. They'd be scratching their head as to what they can do to get a good, straight, fast run out of this. But, hey, as we say, time will tell. We'll come back with more action from the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Stay with us. Shane Back, the winner of Class 5 competition. He'll be coming up. We are back at the Indiana State Fairgrounds as David Chick's machine is getting primed for competition. That is the Super Jeep. And he'll go up against Roger Sherwood in Stressed Out. Now, keep in mind, this is only the second pass on Roger's brand new Stressed Out vehicle.
But he's still trying to get the feel for the vehicle. Meanwhile, Chick in the other lane, he's been around for a while in this vehicle. He's really comfortable with it. Brand new sponsor for the Stressed Out team, the fine people in Castrol, the GTX brand product. So he wants to put on a good show for his sponsor. 296, the magic number, Gary.
A little late stage. The Stressed Out machine. That could well give him, yes it does, gives him the lead at 2:54. 2:54. David runs a 3:56. Hey, second pass for Stressed Out, and it was a dandy.
Well, he's got the same sponsor John Force has. I would have expected him to make a run like that. Man, look at that. That's awesome.
Well, it was indeed a great run. 2:54. He has to be happy, and he's with Army.
He's talking as he's coming out, but he doesn't know the number is a 2:54. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. It's a hooking track today. It's not like yesterday. You're coming out of the gate real hard today. They're going to be some fast times.
Well, obviously he's happy as we take a look at the Attitude Adjuster vehicle with Shane Back. Now, he won Class 5 here at the State Fairgrounds. There's Wild Thing, Donnie Klink.
Not that familiar with Donnie Klink. Got a wild-looking vehicle. In the Class 5 competition, he did take kind of a ride through the Thule, so let's see what's going to happen. He goes up against Back, the Colonel, the winner in Class 5. They change tires, step up on the horsepower. This is Class 6. 254 is the number they're going after, Gary.
And Shane Back lays down a quick one. Is it going to be fast enough? Oh, ever so close. 2:56. That's good for second on the leaderboard. Donnie a 3:08, but a 2:56 for Shane Back. Ever so close, but hey, this is not horseshoes.
No, it's not horseshoes or hand grenades, so close doesn't count. But a straight run will help you, and that's exactly what Back had.
So a good ride for Shane Back, and let's visit with Shane.
2:56 was the number. I don't know what to tell you. It looked like it was a good run.
Well, it felt good. I think I might have lined up on a hole in the starting line. They're going to drag the line every five cars, and I would like to have been a couple more cars back, really. But we was pleased. It went straight, and we was pleased.
Coming up next, a true veteran of this sport, Tom Martin in the Super Trooper, always a factor on the mud, and he'll be staging alongside Dan Fuchs in Living on the Edge. There's a good shot of Tom Martin.
Martin knows you can't make a good quick run out of the left lane. Meanwhile, Fuchs, who has a handling problem history with this vehicle, lines up in the lane that's been causing the drivers a lot of problems all day long today. Name of the vehicle may be appropriate. He may just be living on the edge on this run.
Well, Martin is the first to stage. Of course, he has that light bar intact on top of the Super Trooper, and now Fuchs lighting up that purple Fiat. Martin in the Super Trooper, but not quick enough. I don't think it takes the lead. Dan Fuchs, of course, was on the edge of the pit, and he was DQ'd. A 2:76 for Tom Martin. He's been much quicker, and he can't be real happy with that run. And let's take a look now at Dan Fuchs living on the edge, and he got the Fiat in trouble right off the start.
Yeah, he hooked the rut, and he was fighting an uphill battle all the way.
So he is DQ'd out of bounds. Tom Martin logs in at 2:76, and he's caught up with Army Armstrong.
Tom, a 2:76, plenty of horsepower. Are you tickled to death with that number?
Well, I wouldn't say tickled to death, but I'm happy with it. I wanted to get down the track, and we got that. It's only one shot hitter today, and we wanted to get down the track, and I love that Van Cennis horsepower.
Well, you know, he's talking about getting down the track. Gary, I want you to bring the camera down here. Look at the rear tire. He's got all the Van Zennis horsepower he can use, but look at the wrinkle walls on these tires right here. What they do, they go with real low air pressure. Then those big old scooper tires are allowed to get down and actually grip the track. In other words, the scooper can do what it's designed to do today. That's grab and throw it to the other end. Gary?
Well, here's a guy that can grab and throw it for sure. This is the vehicle and the driver that won this class a year ago, Steve Behrman in Chemical Reaction. Now, he will have a bye run, a single pass, the time to beat a 2:54. Oh, a good, straight, smooth ride. I think he has it. Let's wait for the number. Yes, 2:46. A 2:46 for Steve. He won it last year. Can he repeat this year? He takes it at 2:46. The four-wheel jamborees are part of the Special Events Performance Series. It's a weekend of four-wheel fun. Visit the manufacturer's Midway or check out the Show and Shine competition. Contact the Special Events Promotion Company to find out when a jamboree will be coming to your area. Here's Army with our leader.
Well, a driver climbs out of the 27 roadster called Chemical Reaction. We're going to tell you the number of 246. That was a ride, son.
Yeah, it worked good. The Audi horsepower pulled it hard, and the KCD chassis was putting it to the ground.
What about the starting line out there today? Big questions at the beginning of the day. Is everybody happy with it?
It's looking good. The cars are hooking hard. The car left hard, and it's a good track.
So you're a happy camper?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. There's some hot rods left, though, yet.
We had a very fast field here last year, and Behrman annihilated his own mark. Stay with us. We'll see if it holds up. Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Here's Dan Brown, one of those bad hot rods that Steve Behrman was referring to earlier. And we've yet to see the likes of Chuck Noll and Fred Wilhite, the two guys who are shooting out for this championship.
Yeah, but everybody watches the guy in front of him. Dan Brown comes out. And ever since he's teamed up with the Whittier, California-based blower drive service people, he's had plenty of horsepower. He'll be going against Kevin Stone in the other lane, and the Captain America car, if you will, painted a beautiful red, white, and blue color scheme.
Petty cash, they call that vehicle. More than petty cash spent for these racers here this weekend.
Exactly.
Once again, a 246 is the time to beat. Stone and Brown. Good pass from Brown. Stone almost gets over as he high sides it. Of course, he was DQ'd. That was a scary moment for Stone. And a 269 for Dan Brown. A good ride, but not fast enough as Behrman continues to lead.
So our top-end camera, if you can watch both of them, go right ahead. The one on your left is already hooked. Brown makes it out the end, but then he's got his hands full trying to shut down to the right of the screen as he goes out of camera view, and the other driver is just lucky to stay on all fours.
Yeah, he had to be holding his breath there and hanging on because that vehicle almost went on over. All right, the competition continues with Never Satisfied. This is Jimmy Carr, and Carr will go up against Mike Camella in Bonkers.
Mike Camella is due. Carr is a strong runner. Camella is too, but Camella has never found that combination. Nobody's going to give the other guy anything here. This could be an awfully good race. Ford-powered vehicle close to us, Chevrolet in the far lane.
One vehicle out of bounds. Bonkers out of bounds, disqualified. Jimmy Carr at 268. Again, a good solid run, but not fast enough. Mike Camella just had trouble off the starting line, and he gets DQ'd. So the current standings will show Steve still up in front over Roger Sherwood, Shane Back, Jimmy Carr, and Dan Brown. But hey, we've got a couple of hot dogs coming up. These guys are gunslingers, and they're shooting it out right now for the championship. There is Chuck Noll in the stepchild.
Noll knows this run is so important to him. He is back doing what they call dry hops, trying to clean the mud out of his tires. In the other lane, Jack Frost could play the role of the spoiler for the whole year for Chuck Noll. But Chuck Noll's got to drive his race, leave when he's ready, and try to go as straight as he can. You talk about a pressure run, the pressure is on the gentleman you're looking at now, Chuck Noll.
Of course, Chuck is racing the clock and only the clock, but he needs a good light. Late stage for Chuck Noll. Well, a good straight pass for both the guys. Let's check the numbers. Hang on. Jack Frost having some trouble getting stopped. He spins to a stop. Well, it's a good number at 257. But now we wait to see what Wilhite does a bit later in competition. There's the 276 for Jack Frost. So once again, here is Chuck in the stepchild.
Good run, really. A 257 is a good number with the do-si-do on the end of this thing. Both drivers having trouble getting shut down, Gary.
Well, they sometimes square dance here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, but this is not where you want to square dance in the shutdown area. As you can see, Chuck sliding to a stop. And, of course, Jack Frost had his trouble as well in the other lane. Now, here's another view from a different camera angle. And watch the shutdown area. Frost goes for the slide. The front end gets up in the air. Let's go down trackside down and visit with Chuck Noll.
Well, Gary, half the equation for the national championship is in the book. The number 2557. Is that going to be good enough to win this thing? Can you hold Fred off?
I believe so, Army. He's got left lane, and that's a tough lane. We got a good straight pass. Didn't run the number we wanted, but we got it, I believe.
Well, all Chuck can do now is wait and watch. His day is finished as he takes a look at Tater. This is Ron Pence, the veteran from Missouri, who's always tough indoors, won several indoor championships.
Yeah, Pence is one of these guys that can make or break this national championship. If he gets in between Noel and Wilhite, he can hurt Noel's chances. And Wilhite is hoping for that.
Good pass for Tater. Let's wait for the number to show. A 258. A 258. Of course, Noel went a 257. And there's Heath's number of a 392. So we take a look at the present standings. Steve Behrman continues to lead over Roger Sherwood. Shane Back. Chuck Noel is now fourth. And Ron Pence rounds out the top five. And here's Ron.
Ron, everybody wants to at least get in the top five. A 258 puts you at 5 right now. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, I am. That's not too bad. I wish it had been a little quicker.
What about the track out there? Is the track coming back to you guys in the back of the field? That's an awfully good number to be drawn so late in the field.
It's drying out a little bit, and it's still rutted up pretty bad on the line.
Hey, remember, Fred Wilhite is yet to come. He'll be wearing that skid lid right there, the Simpson helmet with the antennae. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds for the Tire America Fall Nationals. We want to take you back now and show some highlights of the class competition. In the far lane, watch the rough ride Darren Overton took in the brand new Ford Brothers Express. He was clocked in at a 286, but indeed a rough ride. Gary Reddick in the touch of madness, the near lane. Bill Lucas, double trouble, the far lane. And Lucas clips the hay bale, and Reddick goes out at 280. Lucas was DQ'd by going out of bounds, and there's the 280 for Gary Reddick. As our highlight package continues, Jeff Ballard comes into this race as a hired gun for Stanley Trimble's Trashed Rat. The T-Rat turns in a respectable number.
The 266 number's awfully good, but the track looks like it's coming back to you guys now.
There's some track there. You just got to pick and choose your plays. I left real good, but I believe it leaned out a little bit on the top end. But there's some track left there. You'll see some big numbers here in a minute.
Well, right you were, Jeff Ballard, because 2 passes later, David Sconce in Tickled Pink and Mike Yosha in Hyperactive. A couple of good runs right there laid down. And he gets back on the throttle to get out of the way. David in Tickled Pink goes at 268. And there's Mike's number, a 273. As our highlights continue, Gary Mink bad to the bone, running wounded after breaking a drive shaft in Class 5 competition. And he got up and over the hay bales as well.
Gary, you went to the line with 2 drive shafts halfway down the track. The front one throws out a long way. You know, I don't know what to say. I actually feel kind of sorry for you on this deal.
Well, that's the way it goes. We broke it yesterday, and we worked all night trying to get it fixed, and we did the best we could. I can't ask for any more. That's the best we could do.
And Gordon Chessie in just a second goes just under 3, a respectable 285. And so now it all comes down to this run. Just like in Class 5, Fred Wilhite has a single as the last competitor. Now remember, Chuck Noel is in 4th place. Now that means that Fred would have to bump Roger Sherwood's 254 and claim 2nd spot to win the national championship. Chuck Noel looking on there on the left. All he can do now, Army, is stand there and watch this bye run for Fred Wilhite.
The bye run's a good scenario for Wilhite. He can just put it on kill as he'll do anyway.
A good run as he walks it out the end. Let's see if it's quick enough. No, it isn't. 270 is not fast enough. That gives the championship to that man right there in the blue driving suit with the white stripe, Chuck Noel.
Chuck, congratulations to you and the crew. The numbers just come up. You're going to be the national champion. The first time a Ford's ever won a national championship in this class. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Army, very much. We'd like to thank Mr. Jerry Green with the SVO division at Ford Motorsport Engine Systems for making the horsepower, Bob Molinari at Crower Clutches, Linco Transmissions, Suncoast Performance, and Automotive Engineering to make this old girl run down the track.
How about that guy next to you?
Yeah, this is my crew chief and partner, Chuck Brettel. We did it, buddy.
Congratulations, fellas.
Well, there's your national champion, and once again, the winner this year, as last year, is standing by with Army, Steve Behrman.
Congratulations, fella. You seem to have a handle on the Indy track.
Yeah, the track works good for us. It's been good to us the last 2 years. Probably ought to race here every weekend. This track notoriously has been not a good hooking track, but today they had the starting line fixed nice and it hooked hard for the guys that drew early numbers.
And the luck of the draw probably hurt Fred Wilhite. He may have gone quicker had he gone earlier. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
There was only 10 points between us. Anybody else was like 100 points behind. It was a battle between me and him all the way. The luck of the draw made me second.